Now let's talk a little bit about our materials. Now, this class is about the history of economics as a discipline, and so a big part of this is going to involve engaging with economic writing. Now, to kind of keep things nicely organized and to keep sort of our baseline relatively light, we're going to use this book, New Ideas from Dead Economists. This is available in Kindle edition, so you can get this instantly. There's no excuse to say, I'm waiting for it to ship. You can borrow a digital copy of this from the Suffolk County Library. There are other places you can potentially borrow this from. It's also available as an audiobook, so if you have a commute, my recommendation would be to get the audiobook and then also a used copy of the paperback. It's easier to flip through a hard copy. It's easier to kind of go back and forth and use it to help you write better notes for the class. It's easier to highlight things. It's a lot easier to work from a physical copy or even a digital copy than it is an audiobook. But having the audiobook is a nice way to sort of do the first skim through each chapter during time where you would otherwise just be shouting and giving the finger to other drivers. So, first thing you should do is you should go out and get this book, right? At this point, we're going to be using this in just 1 week if you're watching this video during the first week of class. So get this quickly and use multiple methods. If you got a few bucks so you can get the audiobook and a physical copy, definitely take advantage of that. If you've never used Audible before, they usually will give you your first book for $0. So sign up for a trial, get the audiobook for $0, and then find $10 to go get a used copy of the physical book. There is an older edition, but we're going to stick with the 4th edition because it's most up to date. And that way we're all on the same page. Now, this is our main book, but we're going to have other readings as well. Often we will be reading out of the Concise Encyclopedia of Economics. Sometimes we'll be reading original papers. So we will look at the actual writings of John Stuart Mill. We will read excerpts from Adam Smith. We will read probably more stuff from more recent economists, but this is going to be a class that is heavy on reading and writing. This is not the sort of a class where you can push off your homework until Sunday at 10 p.m. because the deadline's Sunday at midnight, and that's just not enough time. So it's very important for you to schedule enough time to do well in this class, and a big part of that is just making sure you schedule enough time to do the reading. Now, partly I've set up this class to create incentives for you to do that reading early. I want to see those discussion assignments on Wednesday, so it should be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that you're reading for a particular week. Even better, probably start on the weekend when you got a little bit more spare time and read ahead for the next module. So be prepared for that. Now, in general, on the question of studying, I think it's really important to set up your systems in advance. Someone I think is really good on this is Thomas Frank and his YouTube channel. And another really good resource is Cal Newport, who has a series of excellent books that I would encourage you to go out and buy to help you do well in all of your classes, not just this one. So Thomas Frank, one place I'd start here is he has a playlist for Crash Course, YouTube Thomas Frank Crash Course, and he has a short video just kind of giving some basic concepts and study skills, how to take notes, how to read well, how to remember stuff, how to focus on your concentration, how to avoid distractions, how to study for exams. Very good advice in a very nice condensed form, but his channel overall has a bunch of extra resources that are very helpful. So definitely check out Thomas Frank. Cal Newport, 2 things you should definitely check out in Cal Newport. One is his book, So Good They Can't Ignore You. All college undergrads should be reading this. It's excellent advice about how to think about your career in the long run. The big thing here is the advice of follow your passion is terrible advice, and Cal Newport explains how and why. So this may be less important for this class, but important for your college career overall. But he also has a series of books, including some he wrote earlier in his career, about how to do well in college. I believe it's How to Become a Straight A Student. This would be my recommendation for you all about how to do well in college in general. and some of it's going to include advice about how to study well that might be more directly applicable to this class. So, think about your systems. Be ready. Be prepared. We're going to be looking at a lot of stuff, and we're going to be seeing stuff from a long time ago, so often it's going to be that much more difficult to wrap your head around it. Adam Smith is an excellent writer, but he's also writing with 200-year-old English that's that much harder for you and I to read with our modern expectations. So be prepared for that. As usual, if you have any questions, reach out in the usual places, and I will talk to you in the future.